From the Frank Beck Chevrolet Studio Annex, it's Friday night. And time again for another edition of Time Out Overtime on the Time Out Overtime YouTube channel. I'm your host, Rick Arsenal. It's Friday night, January 17th into Saturday, January 16th. It's a big weekend coming up for us, isn't it? Oh boy, with the Lions-Commanders game, a little more than 24 hours away. The tension, I don't know about you folks, but the tension's already mounting for me. Let's get a few things out of the way here first, and then we'll get started. Hang on. Where to begin? Well, Michigan lost a heartbreaker last night, Michigan basketball, in overtime, 93-94 to Minnesota. They had a 10-point lead in the second half. Anyway, to make a long story short, the game went to overtime. And just as the Wolverines made a last-second bucket in overtime, the game appeared to be headed to double overtime. And Minnesota makes a half-court shot at the buzzer, and they lose. So right now, what is Michigan? They're 5-1. They're in third place in the Big Ten. Michigan State 6-0. I think Purdue 6-1. Michigan is what now 13-4 overall. All of their losses have come. They've lost some real heartbreakers. At least three that I can think of at the end of the game. Last night was just bad luck, and that's going to happen. So it's a good team playing well, and they're still ranked 20th, but that'll probably change when the rankings come out next week. They will next play 2:00 Sunday afternoon when they take on Northwestern at Chrysler. Michigan State 6-0, undefeated in the Big Ten in first place. I think they're 14-2 overall, or 15-2. Yeah, they're 15-2 now overall. 6-0 in the Big Ten. They've got a tough matchup coming at noon on Sunday at the Breslin Center, right, when Illinois comes in. That should be a good game, very good game. So hopefully I'll have a chance to watch that game and the Michigan game as well. So as far as the Pistons go, disappointing loss last night. Really, really was to an Indiana team that I think is more, if at best, I think is mediocre at best. That Eastern Conference of the NBA right now, Pistons right now are 21-20. Okay. But the Magic are in fifth place right now. The Magic are 23-19. So they're just a game and a half separating fifth place from ninth place in that in the Eastern Conference of the NBA. You've got the Magic in their fifth at 23-19. Pacers, who won last night, are also 23-19 in sixth place. Pardon me. The Blackhawks are seventh at 21-19. The Heat are eighth at 20-19, and then the Pistons are number 9 right now, 21-20. But as I say, it's just a game and a half separating 5 teams right there. It's not like that there's a large disparity between third and ninth place right now in the Eastern Conference of the NBA. There just isn't. And Kate Cunningham did not have a really great game last night, but they allowed 69 points in the first half and spent the rest of the game trying to catch up. They got within 4 or 6 points several times there in the second half, but could never catch up. So I think the final score was Pacers 111, Pistons 100. So they did play better in the second half, better defensively. So as I said, they're 21-20 now. They will play. They're in ninth place. They will play tomorrow. At 4:00 at Little Caesars against the Phoenix Sun. That game was originally scheduled, I believe, for 6 because of the Lion game. They moved it up to 4. Quite frankly, I think they should have moved it up to 2 o'clock. I don't think 4 o'clock is enough time between their game and the Lions game. It's going to be a mess downtown tomorrow. How many people are going to both games, the Piston game and then the Lion game? By the way, apparently they've added more seats for the Lions game and come up with more tickets. It's my understanding that they're bringing in several hundred padded folding chairs or something. I don't know how that's going to work out, but they've created more seats for the game tomorrow. More seats, more money. The standing room, you probably get standing room right now for what, $1,200 or something. I don't know. That's standing room. It's going to be a raucous crowd at Ford Field tomorrow night. Come game time at 8 o'clock. Before we get into other things here, I'd like to pass along Bob Uecker, if you haven't heard, Mr. Baseball, has passed away at the age of 90. I could spend a half an hour talking about his everything that he accomplished in his life. His bio would take me a half an hour. And the guy he's in the Ford C. Frick wing of the Hall of Fame for announcers. He had a not so stellar major league career with several different National League teams. He wasn't very good. He was in those Miller Lite commercials with John Madden and Boog Powell and several other guys, which were hilarious. Bob Uecker, like I said, was also in those commercials. He made over 100 appearances on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and they loved him. Johnny loved him. He was just a funny guy. In fact, at his Hall of Fame induction, he spoke for about 20 minutes and had the crowd in stitches. That was back in 2003 when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. I mean, it was a riot. The guy was just a funny guy. And of course, he did that sitcom, Mr. Belvedere. That ran for 6 seasons from 85 through 90. That was also a funny show. Anything that he was involved in, it was funny. He was just a naturally funny guy. As I said, he was for more than 50 years. He was 54, I think, to be exact. He was the radio guy for the Milwaukee Brewers. And his passing will leave a huge void in Major League Baseball. It really will. The other fella I'd like to acknowledge, Mr. College Basketball, Dickie V, Dick Vitale. A week from tomorrow, we'll be back on ESPN. And after battling 4 different cancers over the last 3 years, he will be back on the air tomorrow. Not tomorrow, I'm sorry, a week from tomorrow. He's 85 years old. Folks, this guy's been to hell and back. He's, like I said, he's had to battle 4 different cancers. He's gotten a clean bill of health from his doctors. A week from tomorrow, January 25th, he will be on ESPN doing the game Duke and Wake Forest. And boy, it's great to see him back. Dickie V, he's part of college basketball at ESPN. As I said, he's 85 years old now. The poor guy, the last few years have been just rough on him. And good to see him back. His doctors have given him a clean bill of health. He'll be back on the air a week from tomorrow on ESPN doing the Duke Wake Forest game. I couldn't be happier. This guy, college basketball has not been the same without him. It just hasn't. The Wings, very impressive win last night in Florida, in Sunrise. 5-2 over the really good team, the Carolina Panthers. Still got baseball on that. I mean, football going on here. The Florida Panthers in Miami, and I said, very good 5-2, well played game. Victory over the Florida Panthers last night. And this is, you had to, after they lost an ugly game, it was Tuesday night, to the San Jose Sharks. You're thinking, what are 2 things? Is this a wake up call, or is the honeymoon over with them and their new coach, John McClellan? Well, I think last night proved that This is their 7-game winning streak was not just a bump from a new coach, but this is a different team. Let's see how they do tomorrow night in Tampa when they take on the Lightning. They can beat the Lightning tomorrow night. Where are my standings here? If they can beat the Lightning tomorrow night, the Lightning are in third place with 51 points. Wings are in seventh place with 46 points. Again, there's not much disparity in the Atlantic Division of the NHL right now between third and seventh place. You've got 5 points separated by what? 5 points. You got 5 teams separated by what? 5 points? Yeah. So if the Wings beat the Lightning tomorrow night, they'll be 3 points out of third. As I said, there's such a small disparity between those teams. You lose just 1 or 2 games, there's a major fluctuation where you are in the standings right now. So, and it was a good win. Cam Talbot played well in net, albeit the fifth goal was an empty netter from, I believe, Marco Kasper. But so yeah, I feel a lot better now than I did a couple of days ago when they lost to San Jose, because you had to wonder, well, is the coach bump over? The coach bump they got from McClellan? Yeah, I don't think it is. They looked like a very good team last night, a playoff team. Let's hope they can keep it going in Tampa tomorrow night. And Sunday night they've got got a game in Dallas against the Stars, very good team. One more stop on this road trip Tuesday night in Philadelphia. And then they come back home. They play the Canadiens, Lightning, and Kings, and then they head back out west again into the Canadian Rockies against the Oilers, Flames, the Canucks, and the Kraken. So that's their schedule for the next couple of weeks anyway. I hate to keep doing this, but it's the throat. I'm sorry. It's this dry winter weather. Anyway, saline solution is helping quite a bit, though. Okay, we got you caught up on everything that's going on here. I think we do. Let's do this for our good sponsors. And as I said many times before, you should have done so by now. But if you haven't, shame on you. You should have had your car winterized by this time. But if not, or you are having an issue right now, you need to get to the service department at Frank Beck Chevrolet and make an appointment to make sure that your vehicle is ready for this winter weather that is here right now. You get in there, let them check the strength of your battery, your belts and hoses, your wiper blades, antifreeze, and more. And not only that, now's the perfect time to get that new set of tires so you don't go slipping and sliding down the highway. And if you don't think your car will make it through another rough Michigan winter, let the sales pros at Beck's help you find a vehicle for all seasons. 2025s are rolling in nearly every day out of the lot right now, so the selection is tops. And you can check out their inventory on their webpage at frankbeckchevy.com, or better yet, stop by the dealership on N99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville, and you get in there and let them help you experience the Frank Beck difference. But that's not all. As Ed McMahon would always ask Johnny Carson, there's more. Right now, Frank Beck's is having its first ever Beckathon. Beckathon, not Buckathon, Beckathon. Well, what's this all about? During the month of January, that means you've got till the 31st. You get in there right now, and you get an extra $1,000 dealer cash on all remaining new 2024 models in stock. Let me repeat that. An extra $1,000 in cash, dealer cash, on all remaining 2024 models in stock. Not only that, you get an extra $3,000 dealer cash on all select used vehicles in stock. You can get in there and talk to one of the salesmen. They'll give you all the details on this, or you can give them a call at 517-849-2886. But it's a deal too good to pass up. It obviously only going to come around maybe once a year or so. But get in there and take advantage of this. one more time, an extra $1,000 dealer cash on all remaining new 2024 models in stock, or an extra $3,000 dealer cash on all select used vehicles in stock. Now through the rest of this month, January 31st. Get in there. Frank Beck Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Chevy drives Southern Michigan. And of course, Frank Beck Chevrolet, the number one Chevrolet dealer in the tri-state area. Okay. Lions tomorrow night. Ford Field, 8 o'clock on Fox. Last I looked, here they were, depending on where you look, they're anywhere from 9.5 to 10-point favorites over the Washington Commanders. I brought this up before, but the Commanders have the third yards per rushing. Their defense has the third worst yards per game rushing in the National Football League. Only the Saints and the Panthers are worse than they are. You can run the ball on them. Their linebacker, Bobby Wagner, I think is going to play tomorrow night. I think he's in. He's been limited in practice this week, dealing with a high ankle sprain. I think he's in. Lions will have David Montgomery, 100% David Montgomery. I thought initially when I heard he was coming back, Jahmyr Gibbs still might be getting 70 to 75% of the snaps. What I'm hearing how he practiced this week, what Will Birchfield told the Ticket today, watching him practice this week, he's good to go. I think you might see 60-40 Gibbs getting a few more snaps or getting the majority of snaps. But I don't see any 75-25. I think Montgomery's full boat. He's good to go. And let's hope he is a significant part of this game tomorrow night. Give him the old 1-2 punch in Sonic and Knuckles. And looking at the other three games that are going to be played, you've got Houston at the Kansas City. That's at 4:30 tomorrow before the Lion game, and then Sunday you've got the first game. I think is at 3. You've got the Rams and the Eagles from Lincoln Financial, and then the nightcap. And I don't know why are they playing a night game in the middle of January in Buffalo. The Ravens and Bills. I think the Ravens are slight favorites, but why? I don't know. Don't ask me about the scheduling of these games. The wind chill tomorrow night in Buffalo will be below 0 at game time, and there's a good chance it'll be snowing. Not only that, at Highmark Stadium, not Hallmark, Jim Nantz, Highmark Stadium. That's another thing. Jim Nantz during the broadcast last week kept continuously calling it Hallmark Stadium. Jim, it's not Hallmark, it's Highmark. Now, he's got a headset on. He's talking to the director out in the production truck outside the stadium. Wouldn't you think somebody would correct him on that? Oh, boy, Jim. Somebody please tell Jim Nantz it's not Hallmark Stadium, it's Highmark. They're building a new stadium just adjacent to this one. Wouldn't you think they'd put a roof on it, or at least a retractable roof? No, it's an open air stadium. That's what makes you so glad that Ford Field is completely enclosed, and the weather doesn't sound too good for tomorrow night, but that won't be an issue with Ford Field. So those are the other games. I hate to pick on Jim Nantz. He's been around for a long time. I think he just celebrating his 500th broadcast on CBS. Not to pick on him. That's not really Jim Nantz's fault. It's somebody that has to tell him. Somebody on the production truck has to let him know, or even Tony Romo when they're on a break or something. It's not Hallmark Stadium, Jim. It's Highmark. That doesn't mean that's not a knock on Jim Nantz. We all make mistakes. So, it's like I said, somebody needs to just let him know it's Hallmark. That's all there is to that. Have we covered? Is there anything else that I wanted to mention about that game, Lion game tomorrow night? I'm sure we're all keyed up. If you're like me, Uh, you won't sleep much tonight. You won't sleep much tomorrow night because you're too keyed up about this football game. This is the probably one of the biggest games. I mean, we had a couple of playoff games last year, but this is probably the biggest game up to this point in Detroit Lions history. Now, you want to go back 34 years ago, which was the last time that the Washington team, and back then they were the Redskins and the Washington football team, and now they're the Commanders. 34 years ago, at the 1991, when the Lions played the then Redskins, led by quarterback Mark Rippon, in the NFC Championship game, which the Lions lost 44-10. That was the last time the Washington team has been in the conference finals. This is not a conference final game tomorrow; it's a divisional game. But by the way, I think I neglected to mention this too. One more thing before we get off here. Jaden Daniels, the rookie quarterback for the Commanders, is only the fourth rookie in NFL history to participate in a playoff game, a divisional playoff game. Who were the other three? Well, Joe Flacco, Mark Sanchez did it twice, and Russell Wilson. A better trivia for you folks. So Jaden Daniels is the fourth. Look, third down will be the key tomorrow night. Third down, third and long, fourth and long. You're going to see both teams going for it on fourth down tomorrow night. And third down or fourth down, that's where you got to keep an eye on Jaden Daniels. He's going to scramble if he has to, and that's what I'm a little leery of right now. Anyway, before we get out of here, one final word quickly for Jim Lindley, Lindley, Quality PC, downtown Hillsdale, 37 Waldron Street, a couple of 100 feet west of Howell, across the street from Fat Jack's Automotive, 517-610-5372 for all your technical needs, issues, sales, repairs, whatever it is. If you have a technical issue that needs a service, this is the man to see who will take care of it for you. Jim Lindley, Quality PC, downtown Hillsdale, 37 Waldron Street. Get in there, tell them me and Mickey sent you. Will you please? Thank you very much. That's going to about do it for us. Don't forget tomorrow morning here locally on WCSR 92.1 FM with Andy, Timeout Show from 9 to 10. We'll be talking a lot about this. I think we've got most of the hour to talk about this tomorrow, so I don't think he has a guest. But anyway, go Lions tomorrow night. Go Red Wings, go Pistons. Hopefully, when I meet you all again on Monday, we'll be talking about the Lions in the NFC Championship game. So until then, please remember to treat each other with respect. Have a great weekend, and thank you so much for watching. So long, everybody.